and welcome to 30 at 6 on Cecil TV. My name is Alison Donnelly, and today is Monday, August 27th.
And I'm Rob Churnside, and here we are, Alison, 1 week away from the unofficial end of summer.
Oh, I know. I hope no one showed up to school today, because they have another week.
I would err on the side of caution and show up maybe October, if I was a kid, but I don't think, you can get away with that now.
What is around your neck?
I'd rather not talk about it. It's still a little bit too traumatic. So, Labor Day weekend's coming up.
Yeah, and the Maryland State Police has kindly reminded all of us that if we are partaking in any alcoholic beverages, to find a sober driver, because there will be checkpoints.
1-800-UBER, Uber, right?
Yeah, that's not how that works.
Oh.
And now for the news. With a vote on County Executive Alan McCarthy's proposed increases to water and sewer fees expected September 4th, the public had a chance to speak out at last week's County Council legislative meeting. In question is whether to enact phased-in rate hikes for residents and businesses that use county water and sewage services, thereby making the services financially self-sufficient. Currently, the cost for these services is supplemented by general tax revenues. Only one speaker spoke in favor of this catch-up plan, which is seen by most as a bitter pill after years of avoiding politically unpopular rate increases. In opposition to the plan, Bob Willick, state coordinator of the Maryland Campaign for Liberty, pointed out that there are several services in the county that all taxpayers must pay for, whether they use them or not.
Some politicians are attempting to pit non-wastewater system users against the users. They're attempting to build support for a rate increase by telling those on septic systems that they are subsidizing wastewater users. It's not untrue, it is the truth. But the funny thing is, those same politicians, and even some from the public, have no problem when citizens are forced to pay for other services that they don't want, need, or will never use. Wastewater users, like all taxpayers in this county, are being forced to pay for a $10 million park. The same, and that's whether they use it or not. The same can be said for the $18 million library that's going up in Northeast. But I didn't hear any complaints about people who aren't going to use that being forced to pay through a tax increase. They're being forced to pay for a public school system even if they don't have children in that system. You can talk to some of these folks back here who are apparently paying for their children to be in private school, but still being forced to pay for the public school system.
Later in the show, we'll be speaking with Ken Wiggins, one of the people who made his feelings known at Tuesday's meeting. As Delmarva Power begins the next phase of the Friendship Heights underground project, customers will experience a power outage for approximately 1 to 2 hours. A Delmarva Power crew leader will notify customers the day before their power is scheduled to be interrupted. The Maryland State Police Bel Air Barrack will begin Labor Day holiday weekend enforcement patrols this Friday, August 31st, by conducting a sobriety checkpoint in Harford County. If your weekend plans include alcohol consumption, please make sure you have a sober driver.
Hi, I'm Dr. Sam Charles. For 30 years, I have been practicing functional medicine and gentle chiropractic. Elkton Chiropractic Neurology is dedicated to enhancing whole body rejuvenation, whether or not you are afflicted with injury or disease. We utilize a structural, neurologic, metabolic, nutritional, and energetic approach to restoring your body to its full potential.
After coming to Dr. Charles, I'm better than I was before.
You deserve to feel good and to have an active lifestyle, so why not call Elkton Chiropractic Neurology today?
I'm home! Wow, it's hot in here.
Grandma says call the Moon Man.
Moon Man, the AC is out and my family is melted!
At your service! There you go! Mission accomplished!
Thanks, Moon Man!
The house is nice and cool again. Moon Man, you're awesome. You're welcome! Just go to moonair8.com. For out of this world service, moonair8.com.
Welcome back to 30 at 6 on Cecil TV. The Cecil County Health Department is currently exploring options for the implementation of a comprehensive harm reduction program. What is that, and how does it fit into the county's response to the opioid crisis? Here to talk about that are Katie Carroll and Mike Massuli from the Cecil County Health Department. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Alison.
Katie, what is a comprehensive harm reduction program?
So harm reduction is a set of practical strategies used to improve the quality of life. Sometimes it reduces the negative consequences of a certain action. So my role at the Cecil County Health Department, I'm a certified peer recovery specialist. I work out on the front lines a lot of times. I'm infiltrated into the community, into a lot of the outreaches that we have. So what I've noticed is we have a lot of services, we have a lot of community resources, we have a lot of community-based organizations, and we have a lot of people in need. What we are in need of also is something to bridge that gap so that more people have access to services. So the way a harm reduction program would work in Cecil is peers like myself would go out to help these individuals access these services.
Can you talk a little bit about the syringe exchange program in particular? What is that?
So syringe services is just one aspect of a comprehensive harm reduction program. And as Katie said, harm reduction services are those services that can help reduce the consequences to the public and to individuals of certain behaviors. Syringe exchange would simply be providing unused syringes to folks who were using intravenous drugs or who are using syringes for any kind of a health condition. The idea being is that unused syringes will help reduce the spread of infectious disease and reduce the risk of development of very costly, both financial and health-wise, abscesses and other types of personal injuries.
And why is this type of program, the entire program, why is this a good fit for Cecil County?
Well, Cecil County for the last several years has put a lot of work and effort into developing a very comprehensive response to the substance use issue. That includes, over the last several years, a significant expansion in prevention services, trying to reach youth before they start using. Treatment services, there's more treatment availability in Cecil County and access to treatment outside of the county than there ever has been. Recovery support, Katie mentioned being a peer recovery specialist. We've seen the recovery community in Cecil County really grow and become visible. And public safety, our law enforcement and our other first responders have done a fantastic job of being part of the solution to substance use. Harm reduction isn't replacing any of that. It's just an addition, or it's helping to augment the county's response. So a few years ago, the state changed law that it would allow these types of services outside of the city. The county, Cecil County, decided to explore the viability of services here, and pretty intentionally and methodically, we spent the better part of the past year exploring would a comprehensive harm reduction program benefit Cecil County? And overwhelmingly, through a lot of interviews with key stakeholders and potential participants, we found that it most likely would benefit Cecil County.
Can you help us connect the dots between the opioid crisis and the potential benefits of a comprehensive harm reduction program? Sure,
and there's a bunch of ways to answer that, and Katie may have some things to add as well. One of the things that comes to most people's minds is overdose. Mm-hmm. A harm reduction program is a way to engage with folks who may not be engaged in other services to provide resources like access to Narcan, information about treatment and recovery, connection with folks in recovery, like Katie said, to help move them toward treatment and into recovery to reduce the risk of overdose. We also saw in Cecil County an increase in hepatitis infection rates over the past couple of years, which are a precursor for a spike in HIV rates. Mm-hmm. That can be very costly, both health-wise and financially, to the community. Syringe services and harm reduction is a way to reduce those types of health consequences. One of the figures that we talk about is a 7-cent syringe could potentially eliminate the need for $400,000 worth of lifetime hepatitis treatment.
Right. Is there anything else that you think people should know about this program at this time?
So, being a certified peer recovery specialist and going out into the community, the philosophy of harm reduction is being able to meet people where they're at, mm-hmm. but not leave them there. Mm-hmm. As a person with lived experience from substance use, I think what I represent is the potential benefit of what this program could have saved me from, as in criminal justice system involvement, mm-hmm. which after 6 years is still kind of a barrier. Also some health issues that wouldn't have been an issue if I had access to services before and if I had been engaged in treatment before.
Harm reduction is augmenting or adding to the services that the county's already done, expanding prevention, treatment, recovery support, and public safety. There's overwhelming science and evidence to prove that these types of services can improve the overall public health. And the third point being that harm reduction is a way to engage folks who are not currently connected with our system. It's a way to bring them in and offer other services. Like Katie said, it's meeting people where they are but not leaving them there, always offering that next step for improving health.
Okay, great. Thanks so much. And
Could I mention?
Yes.
Anybody who's viewing, we would encourage you to visit rewriteyourscript.org. It's a website made by Cecil County for Cecil County, full of information about all the services we talked about: prevention, treatment, recovery support, how to access them. So please visit.
Great. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Why should you advertise on Cecil.tv? Because it is a totally new and unique way to reach the thousands of viewers that watch our programming. Plus, you'll be helping us grow as we expand our coverage. We have exciting plans, and your business or organization can be part of it. You will find our packages and rates to be refreshingly affordable, and we'll work with you to create a fresh and dynamic ad that says and shows what your business is about. Ask us how to get your commercial produced for free, so contact us on our website, Cecil.tv, or send an email to info@Cecil.tv. Thank you.
Welcome back to 30 at 6. Cecil TV was at last week's legislative meeting, where the topic at hand was whether to enact phased-in rate hikes for people and businesses who use the county's water and sewage systems. We took note of a comment provided by citizen Ken Wiggins, and we invited him here to the studio to hear a little bit more about it. Ken, thanks so much for being here.
My pleasure, Angela.
Tell us a bit about yourself.
Well, I'm retired. I've lived in the county for, since the 70s. I don't remember how many years that is, but, I was in the Air Force. I retired in 2006, and so I've been sort of active in the county since I retired. I have time on my hands, and so I'm active with the library. I'm on the library board of trustees, and I was on the planning commission at one time. And I'm interested in my community, and I care about it. So.
Okay. It seems like County Council is poised to approve the amended sewer rate plan. The increases are modest in the first 2 years, but become more significant in the third year. And delays over time suggest that people who are impacted by the rate increases do not view them favorably. But you seem to take a different take. Can you explain that?
Well, I sympathize with them. I mean, it is a big bite, and I think part of the problem is we've been kicking the can for about 30 years on this. If we had made modest adjustments throughout, we wouldn't have this problem. And so we're suffering right now from many, many years of neglect from our county leadership, I guess. We have I think it's a $3.2 million deficit budget hole that we have to kind of somehow try to figure out how to pay that off.
Right.
And I believe the county executive has put forward at least two proposals that I'm aware of, and the details of how much and who pays and so on, vary from plan to plan.
Right.
But the bottom line, at least to me, is that what's overlooked, and let's face it, wastewater fees are not a very sexy subject, so most people sort of tune it out. And most of those people who are tuning it out don't realize they're paying for it.
Right, yeah.
I did the math, and I'm assuming there are about 67,000 taxpayers in the county, divided into 3.2 million. It turns out that's about $50 a person. Every single taxpayer is on the hook for about $50.
Right.
Each of the 6,000 customers of the wastewater management program essentially gets on an average a $500 subsidy. So, when I moved into my house, I had to dig a well that cost a lot of money. I'm still paying for it, sort of, if you amortize it over the last 30 years. I have a septic system that I have to get pumped out every year.
Right.
Do I get a subsidy? Is somebody going to give me some money to pay for all that? So it's a service that some people get it, and this is based on something called the Enterprise Fund, which says this should this service should pay for itself, much like your waste management, the landfill. It has to pay for itself. And so it hasn't been paying for itself, and so somebody has to pay, and that's the taxpayer. And there are other issues as well. It's sort of poor management practice. So the bankers that we do business with are taking a look at it, and they're saying, you know, gee, this doesn't look like a very smart way to run your county. This may affect your interest rates. This may affect your bond rating. And I'm sort of interested in that topic as well. And so it's not only the fact that the taxpayers are subsidizing the folks getting the services. They're getting a service for their money. But also, this could have an impact. We could pay even more for our when we borrow money. Right. And so that's the long and short of it for me. So
we're seeing changes in Cecil County at what seems like a rapid rate. We have new businesses, new parks, new infrastructure all around us.
Yes.
As an involved citizen, what does progress look like in Cecil County?
Well, that's what it looks like to me. The fact that we do have, we suffered, after 2008, we had a long slump there where we couldn't give our county employees raises. We really had to pinch pennies, and we had to borrow from the rainy day fund to get by, and all those kinds of issues. A little story, on the library, we lost one of our librarians to the Little Sisters of the Poor. They outbid us, you know, at one point.
Wow.
That's how bad it had gotten. So I think we've recovered from that. We're in a time of relative prosperity. You know, it's a good time to invest. It's a good time to build. So, you know, I think that's where we are, and I think those are investments for the future. This isn't going to last forever, and the timetable that's been laid out that said, well, we'll do the modest increases for the next 2 years and then see what happens in the third year. Well, by then we could all be in a recession or something, and so I don't know that I think it helps that, you know, they're willing to take a few baby steps, but I still believe that we're kind of kicking the can here. We haven't really come up with a good solution. So I like my county. I offered another example to somebody. In Newcastle County, they have a program where they reassess housing prices. Well, they haven't done anything since I think the 1980s. There has been no reassessment. So I have an old house on this corner of this block, and I pay, let's just say, $100 a month for taxes. Right. You have a new house at the other end of the block. It's brand new, and it's been assessed at a much higher price. So you pay $800 a month. You know, this is the problem in Newcastle County. Right. They've been kicking the can in that sense. Here in Cecil County, we don't do that. I think it's on every 3 years everybody gets reassessed, and so, you know, we have a sort of a rolling adjustment that keeps up with things, and we don't have a problem. But this is one of those areas where we do have a problem because we have ignored it. Right. So, well, that's my assessment.
Every county has its growing pains.
Sure.
Well, we will see what the County Council decides on September 4th.
Sure. Yeah.
Thanks so much for being here.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
All right, and now, even though tonight's edition of 30 at 6 does not have a musical performer, we have something that might even be better. My good friend Kelly Tome is going to tell us about a concert coming up Wednesday the 29th. Kelly, welcome to 30 at 6.
Thank you, Rob. How are you today?
I'm doing very well, and I love your guitar pick earrings.
Oh, thank you. They're Bonerama earrings.
Oh, Bonerama. And that's who's playing Wednesday where?
At Lee's Landing in Port Deposit. We're doing a benefit for the Cancer Patients Food Pantry at Union Hospital. And we got our friends Bonerama to stop up in Port Deposit to play this benefit concert. And the Billy Pierce Band is going to open.
That's awesome. Now, Billy's working with the trio. Billy's been on the show many times, and we look forward to seeing him opening at 6 o'clock.
Yes, he starts at 6. The doors are at 5. Billy starts at 6. Bonerama starts at 7 and goes till about 9, till they kick us out of port or something.
Yeah, well, that's always a possibility. So this Cancer Patients Food Pantry, run by Union Hospitals for patients who receive their treatment at Union, right?
Right.
How does that work?
When patients are going through cancer treatment, they sometimes they have a hard time getting food, keeping food in their house, And the cancer patients' food pantry will give them some nutritious food. You know, they like having food with lots of protein to help rebuild their body because cancer treatments kind of take a lot out of your body.
I've always heard that, yeah.
Yeah. So we decided to help them get some more food and maybe get a little money to help get food for cancer patients.
And ticket price for the concert is $25, but if you bring non-perishable food,
right,
it's $20.
Right.
And that includes a buffet as well, right?
Right. Lisa's given us a buffet for this concert.
That's great. And good New Orleans music. Bonerama is direct from New Orleans.
Yes,
right?
they are.
Home of the mojo.
Yes, they are.
Well, you got to get your mojo working and get on out there.
Yes.
So, and it's a pretty big place, right?
Yes. We're going to have the concert outside. The weather's supposed to be beautiful. We have plenty of room for plenty of people, so come on down, bring your friends, bring your neighbors, bring your family, bring your coworkers. Come on down and join us. We're doing a good show for a good cause.
Yeah, and I know this concert is your bailiwick and this is your baby and you're behind this, but there's other aspects of the program. Director Beth Money and other people have other things that they do for the cancer patients, right?
Right. The cancer program at the hospital, they have several fundraisers a year. They get donations to help people maybe pay their bills if they're having trouble working while they're having cancer treatments, or even just to pay for gas to go get cancer treatments, gas for their cars. So we just like helping them. The reason I feel so strongly about it, Billy Pierce, as you know, is a cancer survivor. He was diagnosed with throat cancer about 3 years ago, and one of the hardest things of him having treatment, besides the actual treatment, was trying to get food in him. He didn't like the taste of cancer treatments mess with your body, and food doesn't taste good. And
no, but I'm sure Billy and I will both belly up to the buffet, and I think Cecil TV is going to be there filming too. So, folks, Cecil County and the world, come on out this Wednesday, August the 29th. Doors open at 5. Kelly, you'll be there, right, with your electric washboard?
No, probably no washboard for this show. I'll come sit in with you one night. How's that?
Yeah, or you can come on Cecil TV, play some original washboard music.
Oh, the two of us, we could do a duo.
I think so.
We could be a washboard orchestra.
I think so. Well, I will see you Wednesday. Thank you very much. Come on out, folks.
Thank you.
I'm home. Wow, it's hot in here.
Grandma says call the Moon Man.
Moon Man, the AC is out and my family is melted.
At your service. There you go. Mission accomplished.
Thanks, Moon Man.
The house is nice and cool again. Moon Man, you're awesome. You're welcome. Just go to moonair8.com. For out of this world service, moonair8.com.
Hi, I'm Dr. Sam Charles. For 30 years, I have been practicing functional medicine and gentle chiropractic. Elkton Chiropractic Neurology is dedicated to enhancing whole body rejuvenation, whether or not you are afflicted with injury or disease. We utilize a structural, neurologic, metabolic, nutritional, and energetic approach to restoring your body to its full potential.
After coming to Dr. Charles, I'm better than I was before.
You deserve to feel good and to have an active lifestyle, so why not call Elkton Chiropractic Neurology today?
All right. Rob Churnside here again, and I'm so old they call me walking history. But actually, we're going to have a little bit of walking, talking history right here in Elkton. Margie Blythesdale, welcome.
Thank you so much, Rob.
Coming up the 7th of September, right?
Yes, on First Friday. So First Friday downtown Elkton, we have all kinds of things going on, but we're really excited to be promoting the cemetery walk. And that will be a walk through history with former mayors, and actually our political figures of today will be playing the mayors of yesterday.
So this is not a spooky thing, right?
Not at all.
How does it work? You walk with people through to the cemetery on Howard Street, right?
Exactly. You'll be led by a volunteer who will take 12 to 15 people, depending on the amount of people we have that want to sign up for it. Groups from 6, 6:30, 7, 7:30, and 8 o'clock. A group will leave by candlelight and head over to the cemetery, and they will meet the different figures that are featured that night.
So we have Judge Will Davis, who will be playing Mayor Keith, or no, he'll be playing, let me get my notes here. He will be playing Mayor John Stanley, who used to own Stanley's Newsstand.
Right.
Elkton Mayor Rob Alt will be playing Mayor William Mackle, or Makel. We're not exactly sure. I think it's Makel. And Cecil County Planning Board Commissioner Ed Ginder will be playing Samuel Keyes, Mayor Samuel Keyes. So this will run history from 1898 to 1967.
Wow. So you go to Mayor Stanley's grave, and there he is.
Exactly.
Talking about his life and how he figured in Elkton history.
Exactly.
So that's like walking, talking history.
It is, and you will be surprised to learn how the politics of yesterday mirror the politics of today. It's very surprising. I did a lot of the research on this with the Historical Society, and I learned fascinating details. So we're also going to have the Heritage Troupe players. There are 3 women, Mary Byron, Chan Kozans, Wanda Owens, will be playing the Jamar sisters, who were featured in the suffragette movement that came through Cecil County as they marched to Washington, D.C.
Right, right. Well, that sounds like an action-packed walk.
Yes.
And you get thirsty and hungry doing stuff like that.
You do. So you could go to Central Tavern or Minnie Haynes, get yourself some dinner while you're downtown. There will also be refreshments at the Historical Society. So if you finish the tour, you can come back there, or before your tour, learn extra details about the people that are being featured that night.
The Historical Society, 135 Main Street, right?
Yes.
And
Yes.
that's in the same building as the Cecil County Arts Council?
Yes, and that's who will be selling the tickets. So you can contact the Arts Council. I have the phone number down there. You can call them and order your tickets in advance for $8, but they're $10 at the door. I think this is going to sell out really fast, so I highly advise that you get in touch with the Arts Council to get your tickets. And that phone number is 410-392-5740. And they will sell you the tickets, sign you up, and you'll be all set to go.
Awesome. 5740.
Yes.
Check it out. September 7th.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.